You clicked on this video because you're tired of writing a whole list of goals, finding it again 12 months later, and realizing nothing has changed. That was me every single year until I figured out how to actually make progress through systems. In this video, I'm going to explain my entire 3-step method and hopefully convince you to set your own systems too. And to be honest, it's really simple, even if you have anxiety or ADHD like me. The reason why most people fall off their goals is because willpower and motivation can only take you so far. Instead, you only need 3 things. Number 1 is your offense: intention and commitment. Last year, after doing a cross-country road trip, moving to a completely different city, and seriously considering what I was doing with my life, I had an epiphany. The billion-dollar tech company I was working for was literally paying me to set goals for the team. Goals that we crushed consistently. So I thought, I could spend 8 hours a day committed to somebody else's goals. Why couldn't I spend an hour a day committed to my own? It all comes down to your why. If you don't have this, you're going to give up after 2 weeks and someone else is going to be the driver of your life. Your why is not about your parents, not your friends, not your coworkers, not society. It only has to make sense to you. Number 2 is how you play. Your system. Once your system runs, everything else comes on autopilot. I'll break down exactly how this works in a minute or 2. Number 3 is your defense. Expect to fail. I feel like nobody talks about this, but this is even more important than number 1. When life inevitably throws you flaming curveballs and crazy unexpected things, you have to know how to pick yourself back up. Things are simply not going to go 100% perfectly, but that doesn't mean you give up. That's not how things work in your job or a big company, so why would you do it in your own life? If something doesn't work out, try again, rework the plan, and adjust expectations. Even if you make only 50% of your goal, that's 50% better than if you gave up. Here's the method that I used for the last 365 days. Step 1, your offense. I stole a lot of this from big tech, but it works. Here's a secret. Tech companies and startups don't set yearly goals. They plan on a per half and quarterly basis. Every team I worked on for the last 5 to 6 years operated this way. Pick 3 to 5 areas of your life and write down a few goals for the quarter. 3 months. Think back to your why. What do you actually want to achieve? Are you working towards a life of freedom, a healthy lifestyle, or see what your true potential is? So, for example, your goals could include get more physically fit, make X amount of progress on a business idea, read Y number of books. It's not about lack of time, it's about intention. You wouldn't let your boss or your team down, so why let yourself down? Step 2, the system. Once you set the goal, forget about it. I know what you're thinking, just stick with me. Instead, identify your recurring actions, your system. The key is, once you commit to these actions, they'll start becoming habits. It's just like how you don't think about brushing your teeth in the morning or changing into your pajamas before going to bed. Once it's part of your routine, you can just go on autopilot. Ask, what action are you taking on a weekly or daily basis to make progress on your goal? For example, if your goal is to get more physically fit, then maybe your action is to take 2 dance classes per week on Mondays and Fridays, and then 1 strength workout on Wednesdays. If your goal is to make X amount of progress on a business idea, your action might be to go to a coffee shop every Sunday between 1 and 4 p.m. and bring your laptop. And if your goal is to read Y number of books, then your action might be to read 30 minutes before bed every single day. By the way, I have ADHD and complicated planners and rules are not for me. So here I'm showing my simple Notion template that has everything you need and nothing you don't. You can get it for free in the description below. Back to systems. A goal is for setting direction, systems are for making progress. The only things that matter are what you do each week and when. Again, it's not about checking your results and shaming yourself every day, it's about compounding actions. When setting systems and goals, start small. Don't compare your starting point to someone else's. Make it so ridiculously easy that it would feel dumb to give up. Which leads me to the last step. Step 3, your defense. Remember what I said earlier about failure? Yeah, we need to be realistic. Things will go wrong, so let's talk about how to check it. The most operationally successful team I worked on ran monthly retrospectives. We didn't expect most things to go perfectly. In fact, we assumed most things wouldn't. At the end of every month, write 2 bullet point lists. For the first list, things you did well / accomplished. In this section, cheer yourself on. For example, made it to that coffee shop every week and even met some cool people while working there. This is really important because humans have a negativity bias. Especially if you're an overachiever, you're likely to forget all the little things that you actually did well. It'll also motivate you to keep going. Finally, using the second list, adjust your system for quarterly goals as needed. If something isn't working, make your system smaller and more achievable so you can work your way up. Forcing yourself to just try harder almost never works. You will not be perfect every time. Expect failure and it'll sting less emotionally. That's why we check in often. Just start again the next month, not next year. To be honest, there are a million goal setting templates out there, but this is the one that actually works for me. It's minimal, no frills, and I've already sent it to several people on my newsletter. So just to recap, set goals you will actually hit this year. Number 1, define your goals on a quarterly basis. Number 2, identify the recurring actions for your goals, what you are doing, and when you are doing them. Number 3, check in every month and reevaluate your actions. Aim for progress, not perfection. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.